Okay, so here's my tutorial on how to make the pizza. You'll need a few things: a KitchenAid. You'll also need the dough hook and the cake paddle. You'll need 9 grams of salt, 8 grams of yeast, 450 grams of flour. Any kind of flour you want will work fine for this. Today I'm using King Arthur bread flour. And you'll need 360 grams of lukewarm water. I went ahead and put the water in the mixing bowl so that I could make it without having to dirty up too many dishes. So the water in the mixing bowl will go right into your KitchenAid, and then you'll put your cake paddle on. And we're going to dump about half the flour in right now. The rest of it we'll add in 4 even batches. All we're going to do is run this on speed 2 or speed 4 after the flour has incorporated for 5 minutes. Very easy for your KitchenAid to do. It's actually going to be a batter by the time it's done, and I'll show you that in just a minute. Okay, after 5 minutes you should have a thin, smooth batter. It won't stick very much onto your beater. It almost has the consistency of a tempura batter is what you'll have here. That's exactly what we want. At this point, we're going to add our yeast and stir it briefly to mix it in. Then we'll add our salt and stir it to mix it in. And now we're going to start incorporating our remaining flour about a half cup at a time. This should take a total of 4 incorporations, and you're going to mix it on speed 1 or speed 2 for about 2 minutes per incorporation. Okay, after the first incorporation in 2 minutes, you can see that it's become noticeably thicker, much stickier. And what I like to do is, between incorporations, I like to get a rubber spatula and scrape down the sides of the bowl to make sure we are getting everything mixing evenly here. I have a little bit of yeast stuck on the side here, so it's a good thing that I'm doing this. Okay. So we'll do that 3 more times and fully incorporate all of the flour for 2 minutes per time. The last time it may actually need to go on speed 2, because the flour will be much thicker in the dough, and speed 1 may start bogging down. If you notice that happening, go ahead and switch it up to speed 2 and let it finish its full cycle. After your final incorporation, this is what you should have: quite a bit of dough sticking to your paddle. The dough is still quite sticky at this point, so we're going to use a spatula to pull it all off that paddle, and then we're going to switch to the hook. And at this point you want to let your dough go on speed 8 or speed 10, very high speed, for about 5 minutes, and then the dough will be done. You'll need to keep a hold of your KitchenAid or keep a good eye on it, because it does have a tendency to try to reach orbit when you mix dough at that kind of speed. So I'm going to put my hook on, and I'm going to let this go. I'm going to do mine on speed 10, and I'll be back after 5 minutes and show you what it looks like when it's finished. Okay, so it has been 5 minutes, and this is what your dough will look like. It'll be still kind of stuck around your hook, and it'll be stuck to the sides, but either flour your hand or use a little bit of water, and you can get it to slide right off. I've dusted the counter with a little bit of flour, and I'm going to just pull the dough right down onto that. And the dough shouldn't really stick much to you. See how it just pulls right off of me? It'll stick to itself more than it'll stick to you. That's one of the ways you know it's done. The other thing I've done here is I've taken a bowl and I've smeared a little bit of oil in it. I'm using bacon grease because I'm making a chicken pizza with bacon. If you want, you can use olive oil, butter. You can omit that step completely. The only thing that it does is it makes it easier to get the dough to release from the pan after it's done cooking, or after it's done fermenting. So I'm going to take the dough, essentially just pat it out a little bit and give it one good stretch and fold this direction. Then I'm going to rotate it. And I'm going to stretch and fold this direction. At this point, it's ready to go into the bowl. And I'm going to flip it around a little bit, make sure that all of the sides get coated evenly. I'm going to cover it with some saran wrap, and I'm going to let it ferment for 1 hour. Okay, while your dough is fermenting, go ahead and put a pizza stone on the lowest rack position in your oven and turn your oven on as high as it will go. Mine happens to go up to 550, so that's what I'll use. If yours only goes up to 500, that'll be fine as well.